Dun, 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 dun. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I know it has been a long time. And the number one question on everyone's mind these days is what happened to Labusa? And although it is a twist and turn of a sad saga for most, I do assure you there is a sunny pasture with a rainbow, which doesn't make much sense, but on the other side of this. So, what happened to the bus? Let's do a little real talk here for the folks. The bus was a project of a younger man. And what I mean by that is when I bought the bus, I loved the idea of what the bus was, what it stood for, and that was that freedom, the free-spirited, careless, don't give a rip, which is still a little bit of me, as probably a lot of you know, but I'm married. I have a stable job. I have a 401k for Pete's sakes. So I was doing the videos, and obviously I only published like 3, but I had enough content, I think, for about 6, maybe 5. And I learned a couple things along the way in my very short time of YouTube creation. And that was making YouTube videos about doing a project. There's a couple facets of it. One, the project takes way longer than it has to because you're trying to film, you're trying to get a good shot, and then you're also trying to do all the work. 2, not that you need to, but being fake and staging content makes a better quality video. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be fake. I didn't want to, and I felt myself going there. I was like, oh, I could do this, and that would be funnier. So I'm gonna do this, and everyone will get a giggle. I didn't want to do that. The other thing, number 3, I think I'm on, is when I first started it, I was like, dude, YouTube will be sick. It'll literally be so many opportunities. I'll have so many famous friends or whatever my thought process was. Reality is, I was in my garage by myself working on this thing nonstop for a little bit. Obviously, it took a big break, so don't hate me for that. We'll get to it. Working on this thing by myself, and I was like, dude, I'm just lonely. This sucks. Like, it's just me and this little 3-camered iPhone, and like, I don't even enjoy this because it's so much just doing it by myself. And then after you film the video, because I wasn't good at editing, I had 30 hours of editing on the end of it by myself too. And I was like, what the world? And I think what it was that I thought the grass was greener on the other side, because we do that. All of us do that sometimes. And I was like, this will be such a sick experience. Then I got into it, and I'm like, whoa, this is not as fun and as easy as everyone says it is, or there's not as many cool things. Alex Hormozy, which is a guy on YouTube, he says it's this cycle where when you start something, a new project, it's uninformed optimism, and you're like, this is awesome. Why isn't everyone doing this? And then you keep going through the cycle for a little bit longer. You clock a couple more hours, and you come to a thing called informed pessimism. And that's when you're like, oh, this is a lot harder than I thought. There's way more to go into this than I thought. And then after that glorious state, you fall into the beautiful thing of the pit of despair. And what he says there is, that's when you're like, this sucks. Like, this is garbage. And most of the time, including what I did with the bus, you start your next thing. Now, getting into the happiness and rainbows of this, I did realize a couple things when I was shooting those videos. A, I do like content creation, but it's a lot of work. I didn't want to be by myself as much. So, in turn of that, and I liked interacting with people. Like, after I didn't post for like a year or so, there was a couple people that came up to me and was like, where's the next bus video? They were kind of hyped about it, which weirded me out a little bit because I was like, dude, the content's trash. But apparently some people liked it, and I was pumped that people liked it, and I want to give something to those people still. So what I have decided to do, like any other white 25-year-old middle-aged guy, is start a podcast. So, Out with the Bus, obviously, yes, sad. I will still be finishing it. I'm just not filming it. And I'll probably do like a before and after video just so you guys can see it. And then I'll probably sell it, because the bus no longer aligns with what I want to do in my life. And I need to wrap this video up because I have chicken on the grill and I don't want that to burn. But where was it going? Oh, yes, the podcast. So I'll still be hosting. I'm now hosting a podcast with my buddy Dawson. It's pretty goofy. It's pretty funny. If you know me, you probably know the general gist of what it's going to be like. So with that being said, when this launches, you'll be able to click the link below. It'll take you to the podcast. Whatever you listen to your podcast on is called Just a Taste. And it literally is a podcast that me and Doss pretty much just shoot the bull. No real rhyme or reason of what we're doing or why we're saying the things we're saying. But if you enjoyed the bus videos, you will probably enjoy the podcast videos because it's roughly along the same lines. So, with that being said, yes, the bus, there's going to be no more bus content because pretty much I got lazy. I didn't want to do it anymore. It wasn't what I expected at first. I just liked what it stood for. Full transparency. And obviously the injury played into a little bit of that, but not as much as I would. I'd like to shift more of the like, oh, I didn't do it because I was injured. That's not true. If I told you that, I probably lied to you to some degree because it was pretty much, it wasn't what I expected, and I got lazy. So, that being said, we're still going to finish the bus out. I don't know exactly when that'll happen. I'm hoping that it'll be done by this July. I'll post a before and after video. But on this channel now, we are publishing podcast with me and my buddy, Just a Taste. So tune in if you like this sort of content, and then catch all the podcasts on whatever you stream your podcast on. So right on, guys. Peace out, and we will see you next time.